वागीशात्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानां तक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्याः स्युः नमामि गजाननं पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितं भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन कृतितं पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषीम् सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् योगिनम् विश्वनाथाख्यम् अस्मत्तातः स्वरूपिणम् आत्मलाभात् परम् लाभम् वक्तारम् न कदाचन गीतार्थग्रन्थकर्तारम् श्रीगुरुम् प्रणमाम्यहम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मे वाचम् धृतिम् बुद्धिम् प्रचोदयात् ॐ नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमः ॐ Friends, this is the 27th session of Gita Regimen for Advaitic Living. We are going to see shlokas in the 5th chapter, from 1st shloka to the 12th shloka of the 5th chapter. Remember, today it is going to be an important session. You know why? Because every one of us, any reader of the Gita, has always a doubt, either halfway or even after reading it fully. The main doubt, it is a universal doubt, very legitimate of course. That doubt is, finally what is Krishna recommending? Is he recommending renunciation of works, or is he recommending doing of works? This is a fundamental doubt that everybody has. So today we are going to give a right answer to that question. He not only had this doubt at this point of time in the beginning of the 5th chapter, he had it at the beginning of the 3rd chapter, he is going to have it again at the beginning of the 18th chapter. But it so happens that in the 4th chapter, the Lord is so emphatic in answering it, and Acharya Shankara gives us the right interpretation for this. So that is what we are going to see today, and that is why I call this an important session. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam krishnajorekam tamme bhugi sunishchitam. See, the Gita language is very simple. Elementary Sanskrit will give you the meanings, but the profound meanings will have to be taken from the commentaries. The simple meaning here is sannyasam karmanam Krishna. Krishna, hey Krishna, karmanam sannyasam. Karmanam means actions, works. Sannyasam, renunciation. Renunciation of works. You are praising some other time, in the same breath, you are also praising yoga, karma yoga. That is doing of works you are praising. Renunciation of works you are also praising. Come on, don't confuse me like this. Yat shreya yatayoho ekam tamme bruhi sunishchitam. Yatayoho ekam yati shreyaha. Of these two, yatayoho, tell me one of them, whatever is good to me, whatever is ultimately good to me, shreyaha, shreya yatayoho ekam, tati, that one, me bruhi sunishchitam. Please tell me with certainty. Don't confuse me. So, this is the elementary meaning of this shloka. Arjuna asks, as he told you, the same question, he asked it at the beginning of the 3rd chapter. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddha janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojajasi keshava. If karma is buddhi, if karma is better than buddhi, their buddhi is for the jnana type of thing. So, if karma is greater than jnana, jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddha janardana, then I'm sorry, if jayasi chet karmanaha, why are you prodding me on to this war, this karma? This is the question he asked there. And again, here he has asked the same question. Later in the 18th chapter, he is going to ask, Sannyasasya mahabhaho tattvamichhami veditam tyagasya ta hrishikesha. Sannyasa and tyaga. Sannyasa is renunciation. Tyaga is doing the action without doership. That is renunciation of the agency of action, still doing the action. That is the tyaga. Between these two, what is best? That is what he is asking. Of course, in the third chapter, he very clearly said, Jnana yogena sankhyanam. By sankhya, he means philosophers. Those who are intellectually oriented in terms of philosophy. Jnana yogena yogina. Yogi is the people who are more attached to works, more prone to work. Yogina, karma yogena yogina. For them, karma yoga. So two types of people he has said. And then he answers through the third chapter and the other things. So that completes it. But in the fourth chapter, he is again starting complex statements. Karmanya karmaya pashyeti akarmani cha karmaya, 18 sloka, the famous 18 sloka. Sayukta Krishna karmakrate, he who can see action in inaction and inaction in inaction, he is the one who sees, he understands karma, he says. So even when one is doing karma, so that is the 18th sloka of 4th chapter. Then in next sloka, Jnanatmi daddha karmanam tamahu panditam mugava yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita Jnanatmi daddha karmanam. The famous statement of Jnanatmi daddha karmanam, by Jnana Agni, fire of wisdom, actions. That's what he is saying. Jnanatmi daddha karmanam. So it appears as if that Jnana is going to destroy or consume all the actions. So Jnana is the better one. That is obviously the meaning there. Again, Shariram Kevalam Karma, number 21. Shariram Kevalam Karma, Kurvanna Apnoti Kilbisham. Only for the maintenance of the body you do any action. All the actions are only for the maintenance of the body, not for the fruits of the actions. So again, actions are, then look at 22. Yadrichhalabha santushto dundvatito vimatsara. Whatever comes to you by God's will, by the will of God, be satisfied with that. Yadrichhalabha santushta dundvatito vimatsara. Devoid of all dualities. Right? That is the one. He reaches the supreme. And in the next sloka, the famous theoretical sloka, Brahmarpanam Brahmadhavigi Brahmanakutam, everything is Brahman. The ladle is Brahman, the offering is Brahman, the fire is Brahman, the action is Brahman, the thing, the action of action being, you being the agent of the action or anything like that. And in 32 he says, after describing all the various yajnas he describes, he says, Karmajan vidhitam sarvane evam jnatva vimokshase. All these yajnas, don't think they are great, they are all born of karma. They are all associated with karma. They are dependent on vidhitam sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. So this is no good. You have to go beyond that action. Evam jnatva vimokshase. You cannot depend on action, he says. On those yajnas, you cannot depend on them. And that is why he says in the next sloka, Sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. He says, Shreyam dravyamaya jnate jnana yajna parantapa. All these material are connected, associated, or anchored to material things. Dravyamaya yajnate. Shreya dravyamaya yajna jnana yajna parantapa. Jnana yajna is great. So he is saying, Sarvam karma, all the actions are consumed. Karma khalam partha jnane parisamapyate. Finally end up only in jnana. So jnana is the greater one. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute arjuna. This fire of which karmani bhasmasat kurute arjuna. Just as fire consumes all the pieces of wood thrown into it. And again you look at the final concluding sloka of fourth chapter. Yoga samyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam chitvainam samshayam yogam atishtottrittabhata yogam atishta. After saying so much about jnana throughout almost in the latter half of the fourth chapter, from 18th sloka to yoga sanyasta karmanam, by yoga you having renounced all the actions, yoga matishta, practice that yoga, chitvainam samshayam, your doubts will all clear, and yoga matishta, he says. So the whole business seems to be yoga, that is karma yoga versus sannyasa, and sannyasa has been glorified here, and that is why Arjuna is very smart. He follows Krishna very closely and he asks the right questions at the right time, and there is a continuous flow of thought. It is not as if each chapter is a kind of a separate treatise on some idea. No. It is a continuous flow of thought until chapter 1 to chapter 18. So he asks, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samsasi. You are talking between these two, what is better? Tell me with certainty. And Krishna replies, second sloka, Sanyasa karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubho tayostu karma sanyasat karma yogo vishishyate. Both sannyasa and karma yoga. Sannyasa is renunciation, karma yoga is the doing of works according to karma yoga. Karma yoga means ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetu bhu. Do not hanker after the fruits of the actions. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tattva dhananjaya. Be in yoga. Discard all associations. Sangam tattva. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tattva dhananjaya siddhi siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Success and failure, be equanimous to both success and failure. Samatvam is called yoga, says sloka number 47 and 48 in the second chapter. So, that karma yoga, that is karma yoga. Sannyasa is renunciation of works. Both are good. Both will lead you to the goal. Nishreyasa karau ubau. Ubau both. Nishreyasa karau. Nishreyasa karau means will do you good. Will take you to the ultimate good. Supreme good. So you see that. Slightly a kind of a mischievous, I think I can imagine, I can visually imagine what he will be doing at that time. Slight with a smile, he says, Tayostu karma sannyasati karma yogo vishishyate. But karma sannyasa, better than karma sannyasa, it is karma yoga that distinguishes, vishishyate. Do you follow now? Sannyasa, karma yoga, both will. In the second line he says, Tayostu, between them, karma sannyasat, renunciation of works, other than renunciation of works, karma yoga distinguishes itself. Karma yoga is better. The whole point about these 12 slokas is, it gives you it gives you emphatically a very of the word Sankhya, Sannyasa, Yoga, these things. So renunciation of works. When he says karma sannyasat, what is karma sannyasat? Dog. Krishna has said, throw away all the work, so I am not going to do any work. I am not going to the temple, I am not going to do any puja, I am not going to do the ritual rites. No. This is an attitude. This is karma sannyasa. That is renunciation of works. Probably because of inability renunciation of work. By works you mean prescribed works. Niyatam karma. The Shastras have prescribed you works. Matradevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava, Acharyadevo bhava, Namanyanamadhyani karmani, Thani sevitavyani, Yamyanamadyani karmani, Thani sevitavyani, Muyitaradi. Nothing else. What has been traditionally prescribed, traditionally honored, which has to be obeyed, followed. No, nothing else. So if you throw away those works, real knowledge, it is not there in the text, but as you go along in the 5th chapter, you will understand this. So renunciation of works without real knowledge, this is called mere renunciation. Just saying, I am lazy, I am not going to do that. Why should I get up? You see? So, such a renunciation is reserved. Who can renounce works? After dispassion, thorough dispassion. Vairagya has set in when he comes of that kind of kramam, krodam, balam, darpam, vimuchya, all those things, desire, anger, everything has to be discarded. And at that stage, automatically you become eligible for renunciation of works. You can't renounce your works because it is difficult for you to do it, because you don't like it, because you have so-called other works to do. No. So that is called karma sannyasa. Better than that, karma yoga vishishyate. That renunciation is no good. This is the understanding. Be very clear about it. We will be explaining this, almost the same thing, again and again in the next 7 or 8 shlokas. Third, Nyeyasya nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo himagabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. He is a perpetual renouncer who saha nitya sannyasi nyeyaha. Yaha na dveshti, he who does not hate, does not shun, na kamshati, does not seek, does not desire. Okay? So, he who does not neither shuns nor seeks, whether it be pain or pleasure, or the means to obtain that pleasure or the pains, he who does not shun or seek, he is a nitya sannyasi. Nidvandvo himagabaho, nidvandvo himagabaho, sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Mahavaho, hey Arjuna, nidvandvaha, whoever is devoid of all dualities, all contraries, whoever is devoid of all dualities or all contraries, such a person, without any effort, sukham bandhat pramuchyate, sukham bondage, he is released from bondage very easily. Whoever is devoid of all dualities, pleasure, pain, joy, sorrow, anything. Of course, now there arises the question, sannyasa and karma yoga are for two different types. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Sankhya people, jnana yoga. Yogis, the action-oriented people, karma yoga. So their fruits also must be different. So how do you say nishreyasakara vibhau? Both are leading to the same good, ultimate good. Why are you saying that? The answer comes in the next sloka. Pratak balaha pravadanti na panditoha ekamapyasthita samyak ubayor vindate palam. Difficult shloka, because Sankhya and Yoga have to be understood correctly. What is Sankhya? See, he started with between sannyasa and karma yoga, but Krishna in his answer slowly takes it to a higher level and talks about Sankhya and Yoga. Sankhya Yoga Pratak Balaha Pravadanti. Sankhya means renunciation with knowledge, underline, with knowledge, perfect knowledge of the self. Sankhya means renunciation with knowledge, not renunciation for the sake of renunciation. No, no, no. Yoga also means Partha Yoga. What is that? Karma Yoga together with knowledge and its means. What are the means for the knowledge? Equality of vision. Samatvam. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So, equality of knowledge. That is called real yoga. It's called real yoga. Excuse me. So yoga is that here Sankhya Yoga Pratak Balaha Prabhadanti Napanditaha. Only childish people Sankhya and Yoga as different. Panditas, scholars, knowledgeable people will not talk like that. That is just like Sankhya Yoga Pratak Balaha Prabhadanti Napanditaha. So here Sankhya means renunciation with together with the Samadha Buddhi and knowledge. So that ekamapyasthitas samyake ubhayor vindate palam. Even if you follow one of them, ekamapi asthitaha samyak. If you follow one of them, if you practice one of them, well, samyake ubhayor vindate palam. The whatever can be got, obtained by both of them, the same phala will be got. That is, both of them will give you the samyak ubayor vindate palam. So Sankhya means renunciation with knowledge and Yoga means Paramarth knowledge and it means Samatvam. And therefore he emphasizes that in the next sloka, Yat Sankhya prapyate sthanam sadyogairapi gamyate. Krishna is a very good teacher. When he knows that he is talking about a very complex subject, he drives it home, and a little change of language. Yat Sankhya prapyate sthanam sadyogairapi gamyate. That is why I said this is an important lesson. This will clear all our doubts. Ekam sankhyancha yogancha yah pashyati sa pashyati. Whatever is obtained, whatever fruit is obtained by Sankhya, yati sankhyahi prapyate sthanam. Whatever position is obtained by Sankhya, sadyogairapi gamyate. That is obtained even by Yoga. Remember Sankhya and renunciation with knowledge, K capital. Not simple, ordinary material knowledge. No, knowledge of the absolute, perfect conviction. And Yoga means real Yoga done with Samatva Buddhi in the Karma Yoga way described in the second chapter and the third chapter. So who are the real yogins? The real yogins are those who don't seek the fruits of works for themselves. They perform karma, dedicating all of them to God as a means. Doing action is a means of gaining knowledge. Jnana praptyartham. They have to obtain jnana. They perform karma, dedicating all of them to God as a means for gaining knowledge. And so finally they reach the state of liberation. How? Through the knowledge of the Absolute and renunciation of all works. Karma will... So renunciation of works. That is why Lord Shankara, Acharya Shankara says, Ishware samapya karmani atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya anutishtanti ye te yoginaha. Who are the yogins? Ishware samarpya karmani. Dedicate all their actions to God. Do not seek any fruit for themselves. Anabhisandhaya. Phalam anabhisandhaya. Not seeking the fruit of any action for themselves. Anutishtanti, yogam anutushtanti. Whoever follows this, ye te yoginaha, they are the yogis. They are the yogis. You see, steadfastness in action, karma yoga, you be steadfast in that and do it broad. Ultimately, it will lead to steadfastness in knowledge preceded by monasticism. You see, this renunciation, where we are all talking about sannyasa, sannyasa is great, sannyasis are respected. So that is the monasticism. You cannot throw away works just like that and become a sannyasi. Na karmana manarambhat naishkarbyam purushosnute na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. Tapping action, you cannot become an aishkarmya siddhi. You cannot get the actionlessness part. You cannot become a sannyasi just by throwing away all your actions. Nacha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. You cannot obtain the goal. Therefore, that steadfastness in knowledge, right, should precede that monasticism. An unenlightened person hankering for liberation, what should he do? He should perform karma yoga, sattva suddhyartham, for the purification of the mind. Monasticism will follow automatically when dispassion comes. So in the previous janma, if you have done the karma yoga properly as a dedication to God without hankering for the fruits of actions, in the next janma perhaps you will get the sannyasa eligibility because dispassion would have come. That is why here he says Sankhya and Yoga are the same thing, they will lead to the same goal. Ekam Sankhyancha Yogancha yah pashyati sapashyati. Ekam Sankhyancha Yogancha yah pashyati sapashyati. Whoever sees Sankhya and Yoga as one, he is the one who is the right seer. Yah pashyati sapashyati. Who sees, he sees. What does he mean? What is this mystic language? Yat sankhe prapyate sthanam sadyogairapi gamyate ekam sankhyancha yogancha yah pashyati sapashyati. And therefore he says the reason why, because this sannyasa otherwise is very difficult to get, to be steadfast in it. Sannyasa dukkhamaptuma yogatagam yoga yukto muni brahma nachidena adhigacchati. And recall that shloka which I told you just now, na karmana manarambhati. By not starting any action, you cannot become actionless. Just by throwing away all your actions, sannyasana deva, you cannot attain the goal. Renunciation is really hard to win without yoga. That's what the first line says. Sannyasastu mahabhavo dukkhamaptum. Sannyasa aptum dukkham. It's very difficult to obtain sannyasa. Yoga yukto muni brahma. But if you are properly following the yoga, the karma yoga, Vedic karma yoga. What do you mean by Vedic karma yoga? Dedication means prescribed actions by scriptures, by your teachers, Matradevo Bhava, Pitradevo Bhava, like that. Such a sage, such a yogi, Brahman. What is Brahman here? Brahman means real renunciation. There is an Upanishad called Mandukya, Mahanarayana Upanishad. Mahanarayana Upanishad. You know, Krishna Yajurveda is so big. Of course, Rigveda is bigger, that is different. Krishna Yajurveda itself is big. It contains a Samhita portion, which is Brahmana portion, another 1/8 of the whole thing, and then an Aranyaka portion, another 1/8 of the whole thing, and then there is an Upanishads, the last portion of Aranyaka. Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka Upanishad. So in the Krishna Yajurveda, the Upanishad is at the end comes Taittiriya Upanishad. But even another Upanishad comes after that, that is called Mahanarayana Upanishad. That is the last portion, very last sentence. I am telling you now. Nyasayiti Brahma Brahma hi Paraha Paro hi Brahma Tani Vajetanyavarani Tapadamsi Nyasaye Vatyarechayate Evam Mele Etyupanishate. Finished. That is the ending of Krishna Yajurveda. What does it say? It says Nyasayiti Brahma. Renunciation is Brahman. Is Parohi Brahma Tani Vajetanyavarani. All the other tapas, all the other rituals, sacrifices, actions, they are all avarani of lower level. Nyasaye Vatyarechayate. It is sannyasa, renunciation, that tops all. That's the topper. Right? Evatyarechayate evam mele etyupanishate. This is the sum and substance of all Upanishads. Final word of Upanishad. So, that Brahma, Yoga Yukta, look at this sloka now. Adigacchati. Yoga Yuktaha, the one who is perfected in that Vedic Karma Yoga, dedication of works to God without craving for their fruits. He is the Muni, Mananath Munihi. You see, he has mentally lived on that mantra, on those ideas for a long time until it becomes one with him. He is a Muni. Brahma Nachirena Sannyasa. Brahma. Sannyasa is Brahman. Brahman is sannyasa here. Achirena Adigacchati. Very soon he obtains that. He continues that idea in the next sloka. Number 7. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jitendriyam Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi Nalipyate. Kurvannapi Nalipyate. This is a standard refrain in the Gita and in the Upanishad. Kurvannapi Nalipyate. Even though he might be doing action, Kurvannapi Nalipyate. Nothing touches him. Why? Because Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma. In the yoga discipline, Vishuddhatma, his self, mind is purified. Vijitatma, he has conquered his self. Jitendriyaha, right? His speech, mind and body. Vak, manas, kaya. Danda, staff. That is why the sannyasis are called Tridandi. They who have conquered speech, mind and body. Or they have these three things are under their control. That is why they are called Tridandi. This is a Manusmriti shloka anyway. This Vijitatma Jitendriya, such a person, Yoga Yukta, who has perfected in yoga, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Beautiful phrase. Underline it, mark it in red. Sarva Bhuta Atma Bhuta Atma. Sarva Bhuta Atma Bhuta Atma. Sarvesham Bhutanam. All living beings. Atma Bhutaha. His self has identified with the self of all beings. He has identified his self with the self of all beings. That is why when Shuka Brahman was going there, Vyasa called Shuka and all the trees answered that call. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. He is a Samyak Darshi. He is the right percipient. Vannapena Lipyate. So, Yoga Yuktaha, Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, Jitendriyaha, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. 5 qualifications are given for this great seer. Kurvannapi Nalipyate. Even though he is doing actions, nothing touches him. He describes that nothing touches him in slow motion. Beautiful sloka next. Naibada. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit Pashyan Shrinvan Sprishan Jigram Ashnam Gachan Shwasannapi Pralapan Visrijan Grindam Unmishan Nimishannapi Indriyani Indriyakteshu Vartanta Iti Dharayan. The Indriyas are associating themselves with the objects, sense objects. The senses are playing, vartante, or living, or playing with their sensavite. That philosopher, that man who knows, Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, previous sentence. He is a yukta, he is perfected in yoga. He says, Naiva kinchit karomiti na eva kinchite karomi iti. I do not do anything. This Samyakdarshi, he thinks, I work not at all. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavite. He describes do anything. Even though he might be doing kurvan napi, that is elaborated in 2 lines, it's slow motion. Pashyan, Shinvan, Sprishan, Jigram, Ashnan, Gachan, Shwasan, Api, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. Pashyan, seeing, Shinvan, hearing, Sprishan, touching, Jigram, smelling, Ashnan, eating, Gachan, walking, Shwasan, breathe, Visrijan, what shall I say? Visrijan, when he is answering nature's calls. Grinnan, taking in something. Unmishan, Nimishan napi, whether he is waking or sleeping. Indriya mani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. He knows that the indriya senses are closeting, right, or playing with the indriyarthas. That is all. I have nothing to do with it. Naiva kinchit percipience, perception. He sees only non-work in all actions. Non-work. In work. What work? Of the psycho-physical organism. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, everything. Whether it is the jnana-indriyas or karma-indriyas. So, the thing to do for him, this is the tattvavite. Brahmanya adhaya karmani, next sloka. Brahmanya adhaya karmani, sangam tyaktva karoti yagam, lipyate na sapapena, padmapatramivambhasa. He is not touched by any sin. Lipyate papena na. Padmapatram iva ambhasa. Just as a lotus leaf is not touched or tainted or soiled or wetted by water. Padmapatram iva ambhasa. This is a famous analogy. It is a well-known analogy throughout India. It is in the culture. It is built. The source is this, of course. Source is the Upanishad, but this is the major source. Padmapatram iva ambhasa. For whom? Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yagam. Reposing all works in Brahman. Brahmani ada Brahmani. Reposing all works in him. Sangam tyaktva. All associations. Tyaktva, discarding, tainted by any of the actions. He thinks, I work for the sake of God, as a servant of the same, as a master, for my master, without attachment even to the fruit of the actions, even to the fruit of liberation. Such a person is not stained by sin. He is not unstained by water. It's a famous phrase, as I told you. What is the fruit of such kind of work? Purification of the self. The only fruit of such work is purification. That is why the next sloka says, Kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriyairapi yogena daye. Kayena by body, manasa by mind, buddhya by intellect, kevalaihi, merely by body, merely by mind, merely by intellect. That kevalaihi has to go with kayena manasa buddhya. Kevalena kayena, manasa kevalena, buddhya kevalena, indriya. All the senses, body, mind or intellect, just by merely by them, yoginaha karmam tattva, renouncing, discarding all associations. For why do they do this? Atma Shuddhaye. Atma Shuddhaye does not mean purification of oneself. The self is always pure. Purification of the mind. Purification of the mind. Ishwaraya iva karomi. I am doing all actions only for God. Na mama phalaya. Shankara's commentary. It's not for the fruit of any action, not for any fruit for myself. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva. And beautiful summary. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtiki. The one who is perfected in yoga, yukta karma phalam tyaktva, discarding, renouncing all the fruit of actions, karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikim. Naishtikim. What is that permanent peace? Naishtikim shantim. It is right. That is the final salvation, so to say. Ayuktaha, on the other hand, the one who is not perfected himself in yoga, kamakarena phale sakto nibhadyate. Because of his, he's full of kama. Kamakara. Kara here means karana. By the instrument of desire, phale sakto nibhadyate. He is attached to the fruit. And he phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikim. I work for the sake of God, not for fruits. Such a person, he obtains the permanent salvation. What are the steps? Acharya Shankara describes the steps. Sattva Shuddhi, Jnana Prapti, Karma Sannyasa, Jnana Nishtha, then Moksha. Sattva Shuddhi, mental purification, that's the first thing. Action with a dedication to God for mental purification. That is our first goal. Then that gives you achievement of knowledge. Then the thing will strike. Right? Aham Brahmasmi. Karma Sannyasa, it is at that stage, only after that stage, the works will. Banana being held by a child sleeping, by itself slips away without its knowledge. The works have to slip away from you. That is the renunciation of works. Then comes the jnana nishtha, consecration to the discipline of knowledge. Then you are anchored, stabilized in that knowledge. Ayukta, so yuktaha karma phalam tyaktva, it is at that stage shanti mapnoti naishtiki. As you see, therefore, these 12 shlokas are telling us the distinction between the so-called sannyasa and the so-called karma yoga. We should not mistake the meanings of these two words. Neither sannyasa nor karma yoga, nor sankhya nor this yoga. I have told you these things. So with that we will stop today. We will continue in the next session. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महीषोः गोब्रह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ तत्सत्।